Jordi García, Head of Performance in Udinese Calcio, is a guest of Livesport Daily. Jordi, thank you for joining our show. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Jordi, how would you describe your work to someone who actually is new to world of football?
Well, my work is to work with daily with the players to improve the fitness to the player every day and also during the year for improving to the results to every Sunday, also every match. And my work is to control all departments or to improve the departments to around the player, to the nutrition, the technology, the method of training, and this is the idea, no? The club contract me because they want to change 2 years ago the methodology, the philosophy, they create a new culture in the club.
Mm-hmm.
They liked I worked the last 30 years in this profession and they know me because I worked with this owner in Watford in Premier League, and they told me, Jordi, they want to change
What was this change? Like, what was it? What was
change the culture of every day, no? The culture of the player, the training in the gym. They like my method to work with the players. I work very hard every day, and in my mentality is a little bit different to another fitness coaches, no? Because I am thinking to work individual player, the method for individual, not for the group. I create every player has his method, his program, and I am thinking to improving him. No, the idea. I think in this moment, I think the football is changing the last years. In my opinion, humility opinion, in the clubs, they don't work to the condition of the player, the individual. For that, I think a lot of players working in his homes or to research a fitness coaches, a personal fitness coaches. And in my opinion, the mistake is the clubs, not the player. I created one company 2-3 years ago. I worked with 20-25 players around the world. And I saw what they do in the clubs. I surprised because I understand why the player call one fitness coach for working his home. Because in the club, the methodology in the last years is a lot of tactical. They play a lot of matches during the week. And I think don't thinking what need every player with his fitness, no? It's more simple to arrive, do the team.
We create a training for everybody, basically.
Yeah. And in this club, for example, in Udinese is different. The owner know me and the Jordi. The principal goal is to improve the individual player. And this is the idea. We work from 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and the player training 3-4 hours every day. I am a fitness coach to the team, but also a personal training with every player here, the younger, the older, because, for example, we can work for Toban last season. He arrived here with 31, 32 years. And if you change his mentality to improving his fitness, he can stay 2, 3, 4 years more in his career. For that, also my capacity, I don't know, but I think one capacity I have is to enter in the mind of the players, no? To convince, they need to work hard because they understand every player is different. When they arrived here and they arrive in the gym, for example, they saw 25 programs difference, and they like this because they thinking, okay, Jordi thinking in me. No, and this is the different to
about me. Yeah.
And other teams, no. Also, I have, for example, I like to stay here in this club because I can do this, no. In another clubs, the coach or the owner don't understand. Here, for example, also. Inside of the method is using a lot of technology. I think this is the best club.
I want to ask about it because obviously Udinese is well known for not adapting to the style but creating completely new styles. So we're kind of a pioneer in these. Well, if you can just literally like tell me like your most used technology you are using every day in your job.
For example, we are creating the last 2 years one platform as the platform where we put all data of all departments, and we are creating because you can use a lot of data, a lot of numbers, but what is the most important numbers for take a decisions? No, this is the key, no, and we are creating this also in the gym, outside of the gym. When they arrive, we use the for control the fatigue in the night. When arrived in the gym, all machines or all exercise to control with encoders, different brands of the technology for control the power of every exercise. Also in the field with GPSs, we change now with Catapult, one brand, important brand in the world, for control the life of the trainings and because we work a lot with the numbers. No, also the philosophy of the club is that, no, is the control or the control the number of sprints, the number of meters of high intensity. The owners know and like this type of methodology, no. And this is the combination, no? Experience, method, and technology, no? All together, no? And for that, I like to work here, no? Also, I repeat before, or I told you before, no? The individual work, for example, is interesting to work with the player, the younger in the morning. You can take the player and bring to the afternoon to work more time. They understand, the players understand, they arrived here in this club because they know when they finish his career in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they are improving a lot for his career, no? And this is important, no? Also, the type of the players they contract in these clubs. Also, the platform, for example, we create because I control also the work in Watford. Is it one platform? I don't have only 25 players. I have 50 players.
So
in my mind.
You are also responsible for the Watford.
Yeah. And I control also the work I put.
Sorry, it may be important to remind to our viewers and listeners that the owners of Udinese also own the Watford club, so it's like a multi.
Multi-club. Yes, now is the philosophy in the football now. No, there are a lot of multi-club, but for me, because the philosophy of the owner is the same methodology in the performance department is the same in the two clubs. And this is important because also when one player arrive from Watford or one player from Udine go to Watford, continue the same methodology, no? And the idea is to do the same I don't know in English, no? The exigencia, no? The
execution.
Education, and all things, and put the players a maximal limits to the training, the philosophy every day. The player, I am not thinking to the result every Sunday. My goal is to improve the player. I know if I improve the player, it's a good result, no, in general, but I like to stay every day here to work, not only thinking to win the match on Sunday, no? This is the idea.
What was the biggest kind of stereotype you had to fight in the last years? Because you mentioned this one, that you are focusing on the individuals, the players, not the whole club.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you feel that needs to be said in wider audience in the world of performance development? Like some kind of stereotype you would like to change maybe? Some misconception you see that the people are thinking wrongly about something in your expertise.
Different philosophy. I think the philosophy of the clubs is different. No, when you work in the big clubs, it's another philosophy. I worked in Real Madrid or in Atlético Madrid.
What's the difference?
Well, the difference is that the most important thing is to win the Sunday, to win the match. Every 3 days you need to win. The players to arrive to Real Madrid or in the first team in Real Madrid or first team in Atlético Madrid or Barcelona or Sevilla or it's not a formation. No, it's not a building the player. No, the player arrived and is the top players in the world. No, and it's another goal to the fitness coaches or the performance department. Is another. It's another also.
So your main goal, for example, in these clubs, Real Madrid, etc., is to prepare the player for the Sunday. That's it.
for do the maximal. Also, is the same goal to the maximal rendering, the maximal performance of every player, but it's different because, in my opinion, is to recover the player for the next match in 3 days, and also is a lot of more individual work. It's different. It's individual, but it's different here. I work here individual for improving the player a medium term. No, the next 2-3 months arrived now Juan Arizala from Colombian 20, Miller from 18 years. My goal is to improve him for Sunday, but also for in 2-3 months he need to improve a lot. The strength, the capacity, aerobic, and that. In Real Madrid, you have Cannavaro, Robben, these players of Forlan, or stay with me, and Ufalusi. No, this player, for me, the most important thing is to win the Sunday, or to reach the goal of the club. No, entering the for Champions League. This is the goal, the principal goal, and the most important thing is don't have injuries, maximal rendering, maximal performance to the player, and try to do this. No.
I have to ask, because obviously you are so experienced and you were part of a lot of world-known clubs. Is there a player you like see even today who was a really like a physical beast, and it was a joy for you to work with him during your career? Like someone who was really, you were happy to work with him because he was just so into this kind of hard training.
Usually, I am lucky to work with I think in the best clubs, and also with the top players in the world. No? And I think every player is different. Every player need to research the key for improving him. No, what is his goal for improve. But in my opinion, for example, Arjen Robben, the speed of Arjen Robben is incredible. The first 2-3 steps. But in general, Fabio Cannavaro, the strength, the power in the legs, incredible. Also, Forlan, the capacity to sprinting. In this type of level, also Iker Casillas or De Gea played yesterday, and was my player. The first professional matches was with me in Atlético Madrid. He was the third goalkeeper, and you saw him with 18 years. I remember, no, with the coach, no, with Quique Flores, I saw, and the Forlan and Kun Agüero told, it's impossible to do the one goal to De Gea. And I'm passed to play the lineup every Sunday, no? But because I think this type of players has a genetic, capacity, mentality, is a different to others, and they want to improve in a lot. They want.
Jordi, you mentioned genetics.
Yeah.
Is it possible to reach the top level of football without a good genetic background?
It's difficult. I think it's difficult. You need a minimal genetics to arrive in these top levels. Also, I think in this period, you can play in top levels without genetic, with working very hard. But you need a minimal capacity to play in this level. No, the thinking fast, the quality of the player, the pass, the technical, and that. No, but in my opinion, the top players in the world is the combination to genetic and also hard work. No, in this moment you play every 3 days. In this moment, if you don't have every day a good recover, good fitness, you need thinking 24 hours in this. Also, when you are a little bit older, you need to improve a lot in this. They need to change the mentality, no? Because when they are younger, they play, training, play, tal. But when you arrive near to 30, 31, 32 years, here is the key of I can do 4 or 5 years more or stop it, no? And this is, if you, for example, I have the capacity to speak a lot with the players, no? The convince to you need change. For example, is a lot of important the weight. The weight after 30, 31 years, you need to reduce your weight a lot, because for maintaining the explosive, maintaining the speed, also the method you use in this period is a lot of important. For example, you need to reduce the specific method in the field, for example, with ball, and you need to increase the conditional work without ball. More strength, more run, more capacity, aerobic, this maintaining your career during the years. And they need to understand this.
So you have to work even harder. when you're older, basically. Yeah.
More harder and different aspect, no? And also in recover, sleep a lot. For example, when finish the match, go to sleep and go. You don't have any day free. For example, with this age, you need do the work every day. The day off, you need work in your home. For example, usually I create gyms in the homes of the players and I send the programs because they need to also in summer. They cannot stay 3 weeks without
Anything.
work. They understand you can stay 10 days, 12 days, but you need to stay. You need to work because if not, with 32, 33 years, it's difficult to maintain him in there.
Jordi, what does it mean that you create the gym at the players' houses? You are like responsible for building gyms in their houses.
Usually I created gyms in Saudi, in Genoa, with a lot of players because I think the most, also here I spoke with Nico, no? With Zaniolo, no? A lot of, I don't understand when they arrive to this age, 26, 7. The age is not important, it's the football now. The football, the level of the football now, you cannot stay 1-2 days without work, no? Because after the match, if the team do day off, you need work. This is different here in Udine. In Udine, I thinking what they need, and it's possible the team don't training, but here arrived 15 players to work with me. Because my mind is to improve every player. And if I told to the players and told, for example, Nico, the Davies, no? When I arrived here, Davies practically don't play it. During 1 year, I think he played 100 minutes.
He's a beast.
And told me also, the people told me, Jordi, this player, it's possible to play or no? Because the people told it's not possible to play. Davies stayed with me in Ibiza this summer, and worked with me 15 days.
Just you two?
There. Yeah. And working because he cannot stop it during 1 month. He need work. And I did the summer every summer in Ibiza. I am there. Okay. And arrived one day. Jordi, I am here. What I need to do, no?
What are we going to do?
And I work with him 10 days before the pre-season, no? And this is important. It's a professionalism. If you enter in the mind of the players, they want to also, Nico, no? Nico told me, Jordi, if I know you 10 years ago, change my career. This is my satisfaction, no? Also Flo, no? Flo crying when he depart to Lens, no? Because my satisfaction is that not win the match. It's the players to like to work with me, and I try to not change the life, but I try to improve his life, for his career, and this for me is important,
Jordi, you already mentioned Tomáš Ufaluši. You've met in Atlético Madrid.
Yeah.
You met him when he was in the stage of his career, like about 30 years old.
Yeah, around that 29, 30, I think, in Atlético de Madrid.
So he was entering this kind of phase where he had to change his philosophy.
No. Yeah. Also, Ufaluši, I remember, Ufaluši, he has a problem, for example, in semi-final of Europe Cup in Liverpool, and I remember work with him in one gym, in one hotel in the morning to try if he can play. An incredible professional. He likes to work. He likes to work in the gym, and I remember incredible person, also very good professional. With me, I think stay only 1 year or 2 years. I don't remember, but in my opinion, he's a good person also.
Are there any moments where you physically feel that your work was extremely helpful to the team's success? That you know that you basically improved some player in a way nobody would have thought it's impossible. You mentioned Davies already.
Yeah.
Are there any other players you basically not created but helped them tremendously?
In general, also Flo, for example, Flo Toban last season. I also Kun Agüero, for example, Kun Agüero in Atlético de Madrid. When I arrived, for example, Kun Agüero, I arrived 2009, 2010, around that. Was the World Cup in 2010, I think, remember? He didn't play with national team. And I remember I did a meeting also with his agent and that, and he told me, Jordi, I need to change because he's an incredible power with the player, the power, the genetic, but he need to structure his life. Mm-hmm. I research one physiotherapist for his home. I put one physio and I speak with Kun Agüero. Kun, you can play in the best teams in the world, but you need change. For example, he bought Coca-Cola, remember, no? Eat a lot of
junky food.
Yeah, and that. And I entered in his mind and did, Kun, I help you. And he did one change and did one season incredible. He did 25 goals and after go to Manchester City in the summer. But I remember that this type of cases, no, the younger players, no, also. Here is two cases clear, no, is the or youngers or olders. Here you can change a lot if you convince, no, because in the medium, well, they working and but when they are youngers or when also olders, for that I told you before, no, if they change his mind in this period because they know if for final of my career in 1-2 years, and if you speak with him and they, no, you can play 5 years more, but you need to do this. Change your diet, work every day, and if
focus on the recovery.
And if they do, they change. And they change, and also they are very happy because they want to stay long time in the field, no? And his also another cases. For example, I remember I worked with Cannavaro in Real Madrid, was my player. He was 35 years, 35, around that. And I worked 2 years with him. The first year very well, win the league and that. But the second year, remember, he told me, Jordi, I switch off. Don't speak because I start my career with 16 years. I have 21 years and I want to.
He was exhausted.
Yeah, exhausted also mentally because it's final. They play it every 3 days, national teams, World Cups.
One last thing, Jordi, about this kind of mentally, how is tough to be mentally prepared all the time. Do you think it's possible to actually even increase the number of games per season for the top clubs? Because it's a huge topic right now that the number of games, it's becoming too much for the human body. Do you think that's we are at the top?
But
right now?
In my opinion, we play more matches, but I remember in 2010, I did 72 matches with Atlético Madrid. The number of matches is the same now. What changed? Change intensity of the match. Change the meters of high intensity, the meters of speed. This change, the velocity of the ball. No, a lot of studies, no, told in 2030, the most important is the velocity of the ball. For that, you need to stay more physically better because the velocity of all the ball, the runs, the meters, and that. And this is the change, no, not the number. And this change is the consequence to need more recover in the middle of the matches, no? Before you play it, but play it at another intensity, play a lot of matches, but now. And the key also is the mentality, also that the players need to create one zone, not one zone, but during the day, one periods to disconnect. Is a lot of important. Also the days off, for example, in these clubs, no? For example, also, not all team need to do the same days off. For example, you can do training 15 players and 10 players, for example, Ferguson, when he worked in Manchester United with Cristiano in this period, I remember Ferguson told on the 3-4 big important players, he bring 2-3 days off more.
Yeah.
Also here, if you have, for example, I have Kallström or Solet, they play it all minutes. Okay, it's different case because we play it every 5-6 days, no? But in this case, in my opinion, Kallström need 2 days off for disconnect. This with that improve more, not for training improving. It depends of the period. You need to do more days off. But in this case, for example, the big clubs.
So we are back at the beginning. You need to personalize the program.
No, the football is that.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the football is you need to personalize the programs of every player. Yeah. This is the future. No future. Now is in this moment. No
future is now.
Now, but depends of for example, in this club or the mentality is that no, they do a lot of they won a lot of importance to the performance department, and they bring me all what I need to do for that, no? And this is important.